Yo, Ryan, you dropped 0 kills again, bro. You're so fucking trash, bro.
It's the NFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We'll see Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings.
EA Sports coverage in the NFL playoffs brings us to a sold-out and absolutely rocking Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints.
What's poppin'? Don't mind me just watching.
What did he say?
I'm the new king in town. Now, princess, so respect and bow
Hello,
down.
everyone. As the postseason continues here on
really
EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001, and that's the veteran Drew Brees.
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up so he could use the rest, and I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one, because sometimes getting the rest is great, and sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rust as well. Maybe they come out flat, and they can't afford that in the postseason.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. For the Vikings and Saints, you might recall they battled in the wild card round a season ago, and it was the guys in purple who came in and pulled off the upset, with Kirk Cousins finding Kyle Rudolph in the end zone in overtime to sew up a 26-20 win. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Kamara with a carry there on first down as he works his way forward for a pickup of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Brees leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 13-yard line. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And a little floater there.
They got everyone.
Gang up in that coaching!
Say that you don't like that call.
parents don't understand. Number one, okay, if I'm playing the game online, I cannot pause the game because there's other people playing live with me. So how am I going to pause the game if they're playing too? Number things parents don't understand.
Instead of 7-0. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And if he and his guys want to spring the upset here in the second round and move on, they've got to focus on the good that they did in the wild card victory. At the top of that list, protecting the football. Got a little careless last week. A few got away from it. Might not be so fortunate this time around. And if that's the case, they'll end up going home.
3 yards on the pick, and it'll be second down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes it's his job to make more out of it than what they give him. He'll pick up 3 on that carry.
Johnson is the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's going to go up top again, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Harris now to return. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. First and 10. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here. First and 10 right at the 50-yard line. He fakes the give here and looks to throw. Looking long for Thomas. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for
Michael Thomas.
And the Saints are able to strike quick. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. Drew Brees into his 40s now. Doesn't have the strong arm that he once did. Don't tell his defense that right now.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
This will make it into the end zone, and Abdullah will not try to bring it out.
At their own 25-yard
Vikings here for their second drive of the game. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it first and 10. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
It's now second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Play action now. Cousins. That is incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ballgame.
On third down, Cousins. And that will be incomplete as well. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Oh, with a juke. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. They've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
And ultimately, this won't go for much, maybe a couple, but boy, he showed off that make-you-miss ability that certainly is in his arsenal. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
More spread out now following the touchdown kick. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Take over first and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the return. And a Saints This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Lutz with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football.
On the play. Recovered by the receiving team.
So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the reach.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that? First step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points. I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
here, Sean Payton's made the decision here. They will go for it on 4th. Here we go with Kamara. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Second and goal from the 1. They'll run it with Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara as the first half is winding down. And the Saints just continue to roll.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Lots of look to add the
I
extra
go
point.
40.
And the route is on here in this first half. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as it kicks away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Gonna let it fly, and that's caught inside the 5. And all the way down to the 20. Third quarter. Use the bathroom. All right, cool. Let's go. A trip to the NFC title game. Hanging in the ballot. Second half action back underway. Fields into the middle of the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. Now Cook hit and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. Second down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game, and you can make excuses for each and every one of them, but the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better, and now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate 1 fumble, 2's, oh my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Here's Breeze. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But now it's 3rd and goal. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees. A 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
I'd have to say we're all a little bit surprised there because at his age, with his speed, or should I say lack thereof, the only rushing touchdowns I would expect are on quarterback sneaks. But here, he found all of his guys covered, and he said, why not? And by the way, if that doesn't fire up your team to see the veteran like that risking his body for the touchdown, I don't know what will.
And he loses the football a second time. And this is picked up by the Saints. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th. Now, they'll go for it. It's Breeze. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, 27 yards. And the Saints are pouring it on.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Now Abdullah, the return. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Vikings take over 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
He's going to look deep down the field, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And working out of the gun, Cousins. And a throw there going to be incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly...
And this will be caught at the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, just shy of the 5, all the way down to the 6. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 57 yards. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But silence those thoughts there. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on.
Probably the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. Now Cook hit and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. And a Saints touchdown. So a great play there by the defense if these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will. This defense a big reason why.
Getting lonely.